Here we are, we're live.
This is exciting. Well, here we have Sandy. Oh.
Hi, Sandy.
Well, welcome to our very first collaboration here. This is going to be an interesting night. We're here, to talk about how in intuition, how you can work with your intuition, build it through dream interpretation and through tarot.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dee Dee? How are you?
Good. I'm excited. I'm excited to share this kind of moment with you and everybody else and talk about the tarot and dream interpretations and how you can combine it. And just it's Sunday, so Sunday fun day.
Yeah, oh my God, what a nice way to wind down from the weekend and just kind of tap into yourself and vibe it out. And so tell us a little bit about your dream interpretation. So how did you get into dream interpretation in the first place?
Well, I've always had like weird dreams and remembered them. And I've had just over the top experiences with dreaming. And so it made me interested to look into dream symbols and what the dreams meant for just myself. And then friends and family would always come to me because they knew I was into it. And back when I used to go to church, I would be really into those stories about the dream interpretations. Right. And so it's always just been a passion of mine through all parts of my life. And about maybe a year and a half ago, I was like, people kept telling me, you should really do dream interpretations, get a booth, do it. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I was a little afraid, And so about a year and a half ago, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I want to help people learn how to interpret their own dreams and help people figure out what's going on. Because there's some dreams that stay with you for years and you're just like, what does it mean? And so I've really enjoyed working with people and hearing what their dreams are and then watching their mind kind of explode when they see what it really means.
Yeah. Is it like the symbolism of things that are going on in the dream, you can help them connect the dots basically to the waking world and what's going on so that they can maybe steer themselves in a different direction or figure out why they keep repeating the same things over and over, which I love that.
Yeah, you'll find people who make the same mistakes over and over again, say relationship mistakes. Usually the dreams, if you go back and watch their dreams or not watch them, but they can watch them. But, you go back through the dreams and the message is there and they're just not hearing it because it's kind of like coded messages. You have to make an effort. Our subconscious just communicates in a different way. And for our subconscious, it seems, and it is highly intelligent, actually. When you figure it out, it's super. I did that 20-day dream study and it completely changed how I do things. I was always very indecisive. And after working with my own subconscious for 20 days, I can make decisions now. I will just say, I have an idea and it's right away, I'm yes or no. And if you knew me in the past, that's huge. I would stand in the store for an hour and try to decide between two shirts and drive my mom insane.
I do that.
Oh, really? Okay. So you did a 20-day dream study. Because all I did was set the intention that I wanted to be more organized, that I wanted to be decisive and make good decisions. And I had all
these weird that into your dreams?
Yeah.
What the heck? So you literally through your sleeping, the time that you're not conscious, you're not awake, and you're fixing more fixing more while you're sleeping.
Yeah,
than probably more than 5 million different self-help books could ever do.
Yeah, and the last 54 years, and it took a dream study of 20 days, so it was 54 years or 20 days to figure out how to work things out.
Yeah, I think I need to try that. I really do. Oh my goodness. I love how and we were talking about this too earlier about the symbolism. And we use that a lot with tarot. It's all symbolism basically, and you're building a story, which I feel is a lot of there's similarities anyway with how you do with the dream interpretation. And you can use tarot too to help yourself figure out, okay, if you notice a pattern in yourself, or if you have something that's an issue that you want to fix, or you just want to know how can I get from point A to point B, you can pull a card or two. I try to keep it pretty simple actually when I do it, because there's 20 card lays that you can. I know. It's too much. Just give me 1 or 2 cards and let me figure it out from there. But yeah.
I love that. So what made you decide to do tarot also?
So I kind of always was into. always into like the divination aspect to like the magic and the, you know, like the everything that seemed witchy. And so at one point my mother, my godmother gave me a deck of tarot cards for like, I think it was my 15th birthday. And I couldn't get enough of them. I loved all like the pictures. I loved the fact that there was a story behind them and how you could use them to kind of have a dialogue with yourself, which for me, that was phenomenal because I was in a point at that point where I, like even right now, I'm like, sorry, I'm like super nervous. So sorry. But yeah, just I couldn't get out what I wanted. So like the tarot cards were helping me learn how to express myself a little bit better. And then, you know, I went into a phase later on where I kind of became afraid of using them. And that was a mixed bag of like, I was making poor decisions in my life and I kind of just didn't want to have to face the fact that I knew that I was making bad decisions. And the cards just kind of show you exactly what's going on. And you can always, nothing's ever in stone. You can always change your situation. It's just sometimes people aren't ready to see what's right in front of them. And that's where I was at that point. But since then I've gotten back into them, and I'm finding that the more I pay attention to the daily pulls that I do, I'll pay attention to how my day kind of just plays itself out. And I've been noticing that I can correlate a lot of what's going on with the cards. So now I'm learning that, okay, you know, I'm seeing this in the morning. If there's something I don't like about that card, I know I can try to be mindful of that throughout my day and try to navigate it in a different direction that I might have otherwise done.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's actually a really good idea. I love that.
I love I love that it's able to open up to different perspectives, different ways of thinking about things that I wouldn't normally have done.
Yeah. What about like the daily, like, so you pull a card every morning? Do you have like a little ritual that you do like before you pull a card in the morning?
I do. Actually, I take a couple deep breaths and I do a grounding technique. It's that real basic one where you just kind of envision the light coming through you and then roots going down into the earth, just kind of like grounding. Yeah. And then I have a little prayer that I do just for me because it's something that makes me feel like I'm more connected. And then I go through, and then when I feel like I'm done shuffling, I'll pull a card from wherever it splits in the deck, and then that's the card for the day.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love watching your cards in the morning. I've been checking for them to see, you know, what they say, and I always get something out of it that applies, you know, either something that I knew was happening or something that I see during the day that comes about. So it's really cool.
Oh, see, I love that. So you're able to pull things out of it as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes my heart happy when other people are able to do that. Aw, thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. I was not expecting this many people already. Look at all our lovely
for everybody showing up
here. This is phenomenal. So, as far as dreams and tarot and intuition, how do you feel all of that mixes together? Do you feel like that's sorry, go ahead.
I definitely feel like they're both intuitive tools, because I think if you get too bogged down in like say a manual, like you're same for dream interpretation and tarot, if you're just sticking to the exact description in the book or the exact meaning of like what the color green means, you miss out on information that applies to you. So you've always got to approach it with intuition first, you know, I feel like, and then you can go review what other meanings are. At least that's my technique, but I'm not super, I pull tarot cards, but I always have to look them up, but in a way that's good because I'm not going to say something because I don't actually know what they mean.
The thing is too, like with that, and I agree with like the intuition part, I'd roll with that first before I would look at a definition in a book, because I feel like it's a story and everyone's going to find something different within that story. So like if I would pull any card, I could see something completely different than you do in it. And just because it doesn't resonate the way you see it, doesn't resonate with me, doesn't mean that that message is any different for you. Like that is, I think that's the intuition part of you kicking in and being like, okay, this is what I see. This is the aspect of that energy that I'm going to pull out of that card for this day.
Right. And you're literally, when you're doing it for yourself, you are tapping into, like you said earlier, your higher self and being able to understand the information. And when you're reading for others, you really got to be intuitive, because you've got to try to, pull from someplace else that's, but I kind of like the collective consciousness. Like I believe we're connected anyways. And so you can pull that information from them, not even realizing that that's what's happening,
Absolutely. I kind of do feel that we are all part of a collective energy. Like we are little aspects of a source. In my personal opinion, obviously everyone's going to have their own opinion, but it makes sense that we would be able to tap into the feeling or the vibe or whatever you want to call it of other people and like help them through a reading even that way.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you. When you're like, say, in the grocery store shopping by yourself and you're just pushing your cart, thinking about cereal or whatever, do you sometimes walk past people and you can read them?
I will pick up on like an emotion almost. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's so weird. And I like have to keep going.
Yeah, no, it's funny, like there's times where too, I've been trying to do this. Hold on.
This is cool. Thank you, Rachel. I'm glad to hear it.
I love this. Who is this Facebook user? Same feelings in multiple situations. Yes. So there's no wrong answer then, I feel, and it's in a tarot card. So whatever part of that you pick up on, I don't know how this is going to go, but let me just do this real quick. Full disclosure, I'm not an expert. I will never, ever, ever claim to be one. It doesn't matter how long I do this. I'll never know everything, right? Because
none of us will.
So like say, okay, if I pull, can you see that? The Two of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. Like people may see different things in this. Like, so and when I'm looking at it tonight, I'm actually noticing like the ships in the background in the water. And some people might not notice at first, but for me, so that would be okay. I need to, maybe there's something that's emotionally, I'm not flowing nicely with emotions because they're not clear seas. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's a little all over the place.
Oh, I see the little boats. Yeah.
So for me, what I would pull out of this, so if this was like a reading that I was doing for someone, I would say, it kind of seems like maybe there might be something that you're struggling with emotionally or just feelings that you don't know what to do with. So I would sit and try to find a way to clear your mind and kind of let your intuition help you find a clear answer to that, because this is all about the Two of Pentacles is about juggling things, about finding a balance. Oh. So just sitting and trying to clear your thoughts might help you balance out your emotions and see things from a different aspect. So I love it. Yeah. So it won't always be the same, but
yeah, that's interesting because the first thing I noticed was the two things that he's holding and that it looked like an 8 or like the infinity sign.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's interesting. I wonder what everybody else, like, what's everybody's first thing that they noticed about the card? Because look how different that was for both of us.
Right. But the thing is, it's the right answer, regardless of what we saw first.
Right. It's the same meaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah. Do we have anyone that wants to?
Yeah. Anybody have a dream or want a card pull?
If not, that's fine. We will keep on rambling and let you. Oh.
I think it was Adam that said that because he says, I fixed it. Can you see me?
Yeah. Adam, yes, I can see you. I see you. Rachel, do you want a dream interpretation or do you want a card pull? Let us know.
Oh, Sarah said she noticed his tall hat.
Ooh. That could be thoughts, right? That could also be thoughts or whatever aspect of the hat. Sarah, whatever you pull from that's something that you would have to, there's some sort of balancing act or a juggling act or something in there that would correlate with that. So maybe thoughts or
totally.
Or like figuring out a situation.
Facebook user. So I think, well, it looks like Sandra. Yeah, Sandra's asking for a card pull. Is that the first one?
Is that Sandy? You want a card pull? Let's do one for Sandy. All right, Sandy. So I'll just give you what I'm seeing. If you see something If you see something completely different, then by all means, you go by what you're seeing. Okay. And we are using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It's more like a traditional deck.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Six of Wands. So Six of Wands to me is a card of victory. Do you see like there's a victory wreath? That's the first thing that I saw. So this is kind of what I would say with this is that you're coming into a time or there's an energy of feeling like something that you're going through, you're going to have that sense of calm or coming home or things going properly for you. And it's something that's really good and people are going to be excited for you and it's going to be a lot of celebration. So if you have a project or just something that you've been working on or thinking about trying, I think this would be the time to try it. It's really good energy. It's energy of just getting over any kind of jitters, getting over any indecisiveness, and just moving forward and knowing that it's going to go well for you. I don't know if that makes sense at all. If you see something different, absolutely, you go by what you're seeing. And that is one of my favorite things when I was learning tarot. I went through that whole, I need to know the exact definition. Like I, try to remember everything in the book. Let me tell you, there are in a traditional deck, there's 78 cards.
Right.
There is no way. Oh my God. So I tried so hard. And I think I tried so hard that I freaked myself out. And I can't remember a damn definition if I tried. So for me, the whole thing is they're kind of like a story. So you look at the picture. What is it in the picture that you see first? What does it make you feel? How can you relate that? It's like when you're doing it for yourself. What I saw first, what that made me feel, how can I relate that to my current situation? And then you just kind of, you build a story from there. And I think that along with just a few keywords kind of helps pull it all together. So I don't know if any of you here have seen my daily tarot card pull. What I'll do is I'll put like my first thoughts. And this was me just trying to figure out like how I'm learning them. I would do my first thoughts and then I would go in and I go into an online database and I find the keywords that way. And I'm finding that a lot of times my first thoughts are actually lining up with the keywords. So I'm building up that confidence as I go.
Yeah.
So
I love that. It's the same with dream interpretations. If I were to try to memorize a dream dictionary, that would be pretty amazing. But I have to go with it, pursue it intuitively. You just muted yourself.
Yeah, Leo.
I think Rachel asked for a card. Where did I see that?
Did you?
Yeah.
We can also do dream interpretations, guys. So any dreams that you had lately, please let us know. And Dee Dee can help you out with a dream interpretation for them.
Let's see. Where did that go? I lost it, but I'm sure I saw Rachel. Oh, there you go. You got a list.
Okay, so we have Rachel. Is this for a card or for a dream interpretation?
Well, if it's for a dream interpretation, you'll have to tell me what the dream is.
Okay, card. Okay. Oh, Rachel, both. Okay. So I can pull you a card if you want to. Should we do that? I can pull the card while she's typing up her dream.
Yeah, go ahead and type up.
There we go. Rachel, if you have a dream interpretation that you want to type that up while I'm pulling your card for you.
Yeah, and if you guys have any general questions about dreams or tarot, ask away. We'll try to answer.
We're going to clear the deck. Hold on. So if you ever see me knock on the cards 3 times, it's a technique I was taught by someone I was taking a course from. It's supposed to clear the energy of a deck. It's supposed to resonate through the deck, clear it.
Yeah. I never knew that. I saw that recently because I noticed people doing that. They're like, you have to clear the deck. And I'm like, oh my God, I should have been doing that.
I don't do it all the time, but if I feel like I wasn't able to properly pull or
yeah, that makes sense.
Stuck, then sometimes I'll do that.
Yeah, just like everything. I charge them with the moon. Do you charge yours with the moon?
I do, yes. And now it's nice. The space that I have now has these really nice windowsills, and I get like the moonlight does come right in, so I'll just like line
nice.
things up on the windows.
Yeah.
Rachel, I love this card. This is for Rachel. This is the Eight of Wands. And so for me, it looks like the wands are kind of like landing into place. And so when I look at that, it's like things are like all of your obstacles have been cleared from your path. Everything is lining up the way it needs to. There's clear water, so there's a balancing and a calmness of emotion. Very happy skies. There's no obstacles in your path. So whatever it is that you've been trying to work on, things just in your life in general, your situation, the universe has your back. It is lining things up for you. So I would go with the flow. I wouldn't question things too much. I mean, question what you feel you need to, but I wouldn't second guess yourself when you have like a gut feeling right now. I would just go with it because I feel like you're in that flow right now, if that makes sense at all. So that was for Rachel. And I know she did say something about a dream interpretation too. I'm not sure if you saw that on the side at all.
I'm looking right now to see.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, I like Sarah's comment. I went way far. I can. Sarah has. After you pull a card for her, I'll tell her what I think that means.
Oh, okay. I'm pulling one for Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, we skipped ahead. I'm sorry, you guys. I jump around. You got to watch me.
Tell you what,
we lost.
I give you and Sarah props because I never realized how hard it is when you're trying to talk, when you're nervous, and there's you guys make this look so easy. Just let me tell you, it's not. No. Okay, so this is going to be for Sarah. I'll pull another one if you want me to. I did shuffle and it came right back to the Eight of Wands, which is things falling into place. That feels right for me. I did shuffle. It pulled to a different spot in the deck. So don't question yourself. Go with your gut. Make sure that you just allow things to flow, which I know you're really good at. Sarah, if you don't like the card because it just came up, I understand. I can pull another one, but I feel like this card is also meant for you. So a calming of emotions, a clearing of path, and universe has your back.
So peeing in a dream, like anytime you're peeing or pooping in a dream, that means that you've got to get rid of something. And it's like, it really needs to be addressed. I've had that dream before where I'm trying to go to the bathroom in public. And so it's very alarming, right? Because you're like, what am I doing? And it was, for me, that stood for, I need to get rid of negativity. So if you're dreaming that you're peeing or pooping in the dream, it means, or even vomiting, it means that you need to get rid of whatever is poisoning you. It's literal poison that you need to get out of your life. So you'd have to decide what it represents, but that's what's happening. It's your subconscious telling you, you need to get rid of this now. This is poisoning you.
So what happens when, sorry, I'll ask you after this one. So Rachel says, so my dream I had was interviewing for a very important change in my life. And the interview went amazing. And the people I was interviewing with were very impressed and wanted me to be part of their company. As I walked out, I came into almost like a dark hallway filled with faceless people who were not acknowledging me as I walked by them. As I came to the end of the hallway, I came into a bright light filled with people who were acknowledging me, but I could not see any faces on them either.
Love that. Okay. Well, a hallway is transition, but the dark hallway, usually when you're in the dark, it's kind of a nod to your subconscious. So she's kind of going through like the transition has to do with like the thoughts and the subconscious and the fact that she was interviewing for a change in life, and it's an important change. So that basically is addressing something that's going on. It could be whatever the change was during that time. And the fact that you're being interviewed, it says interviewed, and the interview went amazing. So she felt like she had to be like the transition had to come from somebody else, like acknowledging, validating it. It could even be herself. Like she could be the one who's interviewing herself and saying, am I ready to go to this next level, the transition? And so then when she gets through the transition, the faceless people that she's walking by, that's like other aspects of herself that either, she hasn't addressed yet. And it's maybe part of the, coming to her later on, because it's in that hallway of transition with her subconscious. So maybe those are things that she's going to be dealing with later. And then the bright light at the end means it was like, it's the right choice. And then she can't see the faces on them. It's just because it's just like the aspects of herself. So the faces aren't as important as the fact that they're there.
Oh, so, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, it just sounds like things are really they're coming together.
It goes with the card. Yeah.
I love that. And that even worked with the card that she got.
Yeah. Let's see. I have more of a question for Dee Dee. What is the significance of birds in dreams? Or I had a situation where a bird hit my window 2 days in a row, and I have had bad things come in threes lately. Okay. So I'm thinking the birds hitting your window, you mean in real life, right? Not in the dream. The significance of birds usually, and I know they break it down to different birds, but birds are usually like freedom. It can even be like a reference to travel. It depends on what's going on with the birds, So you have to ask yourself, what does the bird, like first thought, when you think of birds, what does it mean to you? For me, it means freedom, flight. It also can mean endless possibilities, because you can fly way up into the sky, which feels endless. And then if you mean the birds are hitting your windows now, I think that the birds aren't probably very smart. That happens to me too. And I used to subscribe to that where, you say things come in threes, and they do seem to, but is it because we're noticing them and counting them? Or because if you go through an entire week, you can probably find 3 bad things that happened each week. You can probably find 3 good things that happened each week. So it's kind of like, what are you focusing on?
That's true, because because I say that all the time too. And you're right. I think it's because we focus on there's 3. So we're subconsciously waiting for that other shoe to drop, kind of a thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I still will do that. And I will still notice it, and I will try to dismiss it and say, and then what happens is then we all have that same thing where the 3 bad things happen. You're like, okay, now something good is going to happen.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. I do that same thing. Oh my gosh.
I try not to, but it always crosses my mind too. And so I feel like with that, if you feel like things like that are happening to you, journal it. Journal everything that went on. Write down all the good things that happened. Write down all the bad things that happened. And then give them like a rating. How bad was it? On a scale of 1 to 10, was it 10 being so bad? And then kind of like look back over your week and say, okay, maybe it's not as bad. Maybe it's just a really bad week. I mean, there's times in life where just a bunch of bad stuff happens, So I don't know. But I'm curious to know, you mean the birds hit you in real life, right? I don't know if she answered that.
I mean, I guess you could, with the real life situation, you could almost put any spin on that if you want. Like, could that be also like noticing that the birds are hitting the window? Could that be that, they're trying to get the message from the dream to you? And it's
love that.
Notice that.
Yes. Okay. So then the question would be, are the birds similar? What's happening in the dream with the birds versus what's happening? So like, is there a message in your dream? If you want, you can send the dream to me. But is there a message in that dream? And then because I believe this is, Valerie, I always thought a bird hitting your window was a negative thing. So was that in the dream? Is the bird hitting your window in real life or in the dream?
I feel like that's kind of, and this is personal opinion, and I'm not trying to offend anybody here, but I feel like the birds hitting the window has been like a Hollywood stigma thing too, because it's always in the scary movies. And
yeah, the bird hits the window. Yeah, always.
yeah. Which I'm sure somebody out there can explain it better than I can, and maybe that is a part of it. But I feel like too, like if it's something that you can correlate together, that maybe it is just the trying to get your attention kind of a thing versus a negative thing.
Yeah. Well, I always feel like too, birds are kind of with the flow of the earth, and they're in
Yeah.
nature. And so sometimes maybe there is something in the environment that's bad, and you just happen to be the window that they hit, because
Right.
I do feel like animals respond more, the wild animals respond more to the earth and what's going on.
Absolutely. They're not
But I think,
distracted.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think if this was regarding a dream, though, I would really look at the dream and, the message is there. But I'm dying to know if the birds hit the window in real life.
All right, Trevor. Oh, hi, Trevor. All right. Let's do a tarot card for Trevor. Okay. I don't know if anyone else here pulls cards, but I usually go until they start getting what I call sticky. Like they all start trying to
Oh,
stick together.
that's interesting.
It was a very strong stick for him.
Oh, I like that. Divination and dreams.
I'm going to pull a second card. I will show you the first card. I am going to pull a second card. It's good. It's just, I want some clarification on this now. Okay. This makes sense to me now. So you got the reason I wanted clarification.
Oh, oh my God.
Was because we got the 8 of Wands again. So then in my head, I'm like, okay, why is he getting the 8 of Wands? 3 of Swords. So for me, this is a card of disappointments, of heartbreak, of things not going how you intended. So if you were going through, and I don't know your personal situation, so if this doesn't resonate, please let me know. But if you had recently a time of just feeling like something just did not go the way you had wanted to, and it really upset you, or it really got under your skin and you just couldn't seem to let it go, know that the universe does have your back. It is moving all of those obstacles out of your way. So basically pulling the swords out of your heart to make room for something even better than what you had wanted. You're going to get something even better. So I would, if there is something that was bothering you, try to find a center within yourself, take a couple deep breaths, let go what you can, and let the universe guide you. Don't second guess yourself when you start wanting to do something. Does that make sense? If that makes sense at all to you, honey, that's what I got for you. Things are clearing up from a situation that you had hoped would have gone better.
Wow.
Okay, all right. So, okay. Here we go. I'm going to say, was that Mika? How do you say that? Mika? Micah? I am so sorry. I know I'm going to butcher that name. I am so sorry. You are an amazing human being, and I love the posts that you do on Facebook all the time. Okay, so you know how in the mornings when I do that, what falls to the floor comes to your door? His just jumped out of the deck. So it's what, 7, right? Okay, so 7 of Cups. So with this card, I always feel like there are going to be, this is kind of like a card of maybe temptations, a lot of choices to be made. And the thing here is it might feel like you have an overwhelming situation, or you might be coming into a situation soon where you're going to have a lot of different things thrown at you, a lot of different choices, a lot of things that you think you need to figure out all at once. And so with this, the advice I always give for this card is go with your heart, read from your heart center. Your higher self is always going to figure out your highest and greatest good, and it's always going to help try to guide you. So sit with things with the energy of your heart, and that will help you make the right choice. And it'll help you kind of navigate away from temptations that might otherwise not be great for you. But still not a bad card at all. It's just saying you're going to have a lot of options in front of you. But just go with your gut feeling, go with your heart, and you'll make the right one. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was very adamant. Like that was for you. It jumped right out of the deck.
Yeah. I love jumpers.
Too. And that's another one too. It's like when I look at that one, I always notice too, like the clouds in the background, they're not clear. They're kind of gray, which means to me, like that's why I always say like there's a lot of choices to make. Like that would be like indecision for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's where like it's reading for me, I just read the images and kind of create a story out of that. Is that Ray? What does walking across an open field where the sun is fire and the sky is filled with crows?
Ooh. Well, an open field, I would take that literally, like you could go in any direction. You're kind of like, are you alone? Is it about isolation? Is it about opportunity? But then when you say the sun's on fire and there's crows, it sounds bad. So, I mean, just on the fly, I would say, could this have something to do with, feeling like you're out there alone in this field, and then there's just like fire and the crows are like negative? Like, that's where I go with it. But I don't know. I need a little more, like, were you alone? What were you feeling? Because just somebody might see crows circling and they like it. They might see the sun's on fire because the sun really is fire. So, I need a little bit more.
I think fire isn't so. If fire is as far as tarot, and I don't know, this would be a great way to ask you this. I don't know how it is for dream interpretation, but for fire, it can be a very cleansing.
Yeah,
so maybe it could
cleansing.
be like something needs
passion,
to be
cleansing. Yeah.
And then
crows again, birds. I mean, some people associate crows with negativity, but it could also be the subconscious, because again, the black can be subconscious.
Yes, and where did I read that once where that crows are messengers too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that could like carry over the same or not, but
yeah, subconscious messengers, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
perfect. Okay, so who else did I saw? I don't know how.
There were a lot of people that asked for a card.
You guys make this look so much easier than it actually is. Okay, so we got Rachel, Sandy, Sarah. Was there anyone after that? Okay, so
I feel like I saw
Sam. Sam.
But here it is. I was on the phone call right here.
Okay, all right. Sam, you wanted a card? Let's do this. So I have about 15 decks, and I think I regularly use for myself anyway about 3 different. It's kind of become an obsession. Okay.
I think everybody ends up with like a favorite one or two.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think this is, let's say, for Kaylee, right? All right, Kaylee. All right, and then I'm going to pull a card for clarification. So some cards, here, I'll explain it after I show it. Oh, okay. So the first card I pulled for this is for Kaylee, the Hanged Man. So this might look super scary. None of the cards ever are actually about doom and gloom. They're just about your current energy and to give you a path forward, to say, hey, this is the path you're on. Here are your choices. So the Hanged Man could be that you are giving up an aspect of yourself to try to help others, or that kind of like a martyr situation with the Hanged Man, kind of like holding yourself back or doing something differently than you might have otherwise to try to appease or help somebody else. So I asked for a clarification card and I got the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands is more of, if you haven't already, you need to make a choice, and that choice will be right for you. Go from your heart center, find a place of balance, go with the energy of your heart and make your decision, and then be patient. and your ship will come in. I don't know if you can see it there is an ocean and there are little ships coming into port. So your ship will come in and things will get better for you. And the decision that you make will be the right one for you. But you need to let go of trying to help everybody else and just focus on helping yourself. Because to be honest, and this goes for everybody, you can't pour from an empty cup. So don't give so much of yourself away that you are depleted and you're no longer who you need to be for you. So just focus on you, and that energy will shift out and actually help everybody around you. So just roll with what's right for you, make your decisions, and then let the universe bring it to you.
Love that. I love how you show the picture, because now I'm learning as we go. I love that your ship will come in. Okay. This one, standing in front of a large window. Okay. Looking in a mirror is self-reflection. Looking out a window is observing everything else around you. And so it seems to be focusing on their loved ones hugging each other. So there's some kind of a worry about maybe loved ones, the fact that they're hugging each other. Maybe they're worried about each other, or you're worried about them, or maybe they're worried about you. I don't know. Each other seeing this bright light coming towards us. A bright light can be spiritual awakening. It can be something good. Usually it's spiritual. So, and says, I had this dream at least once a week for over 4 years. So if you remember anything else about this dream, you can send it to me and we can break it down together and figure out exactly what it means. Because now it's a repetitive dream that you're having over the course of 4 years. So it'd probably be a good time to figure it out. I don't know if that resonates at all, what I said so far, but like I said, I could do a full interpretation so you can figure that out. Because repetitive dreams, sometimes when they're not, they don't feel good after a while. I feel like you just want to get some kind of resolution, and whatever's going on, it hasn't been resolved. So
is that kind of why we keep having the repetition of the dream itself? Is something's trying to relay itself to you, so that until you get it, it kind of repeats itself?
It's usually like a way that you're seeing things. So like you're being stuck. It's almost like a metaphor for being stuck in a way that you are stuck in a rut or whatever, because you just keep going back to the same thing, especially if the dream doesn't change at all. It's basically just saying nothing's changed. You're being told and you're still not making any change at all.
Okay.
So this could be like this person's relationship with their family, maybe whatever, there was some kind of falling out or somebody's sick. I don't know, something. That's what I'm getting from it. It could be an aspect of himself though, as well. Like family could be just that person. And because all dream symbols can be you, or it could be reflecting somebody outwardly. So that's why I say I need a little more.
Okay. Oh, but I like that already. There's so much to consider there already.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have Brittany for a card. Love Brittany. I think I saw on Instagram, she pulls, and I thought this was the most amazing thing. She pulls a card before investigations to kind of get a feel for how everything's going to go.
I love that.
I do too. You're getting a second card.
Oh, Mallory, you said correct that the birds were the dream?
Okay, Brittany, got your cards for you. So you've got the, 8 of Wands and then 6 of Wands. So 8 of Wands, like we've been saying, this is, your path is being cleared for you. So if you have any situations that you're worried about, or things that have been preventing you from moving forward on a project or something that you've been wanting to do, they're clearing now. Things are going to get better. There are going to be calmer seas ahead, and the universe is definitely lining you up for a victory. So this is a card of victory, of homecoming, of things working out, so that you feel victorious. You feel like I can come home and explain to everybody how amazing this is. So really good energy there. A lot of wands are also a lot of movement. So I feel like this is this is either something to do with like like some kind of like, not so much just thoughts, but an actual project or something that you've been working towards wanting to do. So I don't know if that makes sense at all. I don't know if there is something in the works behind the scenes that you've been struggling with. Should I do it? Should I not? I would say go ahead and do it. Universe has your back on this one.
You know what's interesting about that is that I've seen a lot of people posting lately about with the moon transition, and I'm not into all those, you know, star signs and everything, but like everything's working together and bringing about, and that, and so many people have gotten that card tonight. And that's literally what I heard like Card ZB say, is that we finally got past that thing where everybody's having breakthroughs and on the other side of that hill. So it now it makes sense to me that you keep pulling that card.
It kind of really does. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, has anyone else, like I noticed like last month I was having a lot of issues with just feeling stuck and a lot of stagnant.
Yeah.
And like, I remember I told Sarah a few times, like, I feel like, and I couldn't explain it any other way than other than like, I wanted to peel out of my skin and like get somewhere else. Like I couldn't get past whatever it was. And now this coming into October, I feel it feels different. It feels good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been having a hard transition at least the last month. And then all of a sudden you could feel where it started to lighten up and things fell into place and made more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are for you, Stacy. Are
they for me?
Yeah, they're under dream interpretation for Dee Dee, so I'm assuming that's for you. See, Brittany, things they're gonna start working out for you. Just gotta let universe guide you there, honey. Okay, so Stacy asked for a card pull. Okay, we got you, Stacy.
There's a lot of Oh, I like this question. Do you prefer tarot over oracle cards? I personally only use oracle cards. We were talking about that, I think, before we went live.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
I will answer that right after this. So, Stacy got the, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of wands. So when I see this card, what I notice first is that it seems like this person is having to kind of battle the other wands. They're kind of having to push those back, and the stance of their feet is almost like they're planting themselves. So what I would say with this one is you might be coming into a time where maybe you're feeling like you're having to battle for everything that you want for yourself. And what I would say with this is make sure you stand your ground, but do so in a manner that is kind of heartfelt, from the heart, and kind to yourself. Like, don't beat yourself up with this one. If you can't get through, just like if you need to get through to someone and they're not listening, you need to move on there. And that person is not meant to be in your story, if that makes sense. But don't let anyone else tell you that you are wrong when you know in your heart that you want to go down a certain path. Don't let anyone bully you on this one. Stick to your guns, and the right situations will present themselves. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough or that a situation is not worth the time and effort, because if you feel like it's worth the time and the effort for yourself, then it's worth the time and the effort. And how dare anyone else tell you otherwise? So just stick to your guns when you need to, and try not to let anyone get under your skin to the point where you lose your focus and you start arguing. You don't need to argue with anyone else. You just go down your path. If it's not meant for them, it's not meant for them. They don't need to be a part of it. Just you follow your own heart, and universe will guide you.
Love that.
And then we were saying about tarot and oracle cards. Yeah, and we were talking about this backstage. I do right now. I prefer tarot, because tarot is so in person, and anyone who's spent enough time around me knows this. I am a very like to the point. Like, I don't like fluff. I don't like whatever. I like to the point. Like, tell me what I need to do and I'll go do it. Like, I don't need everything else. Tarot is very too like brutally to the point sometimes, and so I do prefer tarot now. But I had gone through an entire stage where I was terrified because I didn't want to get the blunt answers. I didn't want to get the blunt truths. So I went through oracle cards because they give you the exact same energy, but they give it to you in. So like when there's a situation where maybe you would pull the devil card or something, which that's a very like boom in your face, you know what I mean? The oracle card would give you that same energy, that same information in a much easier to swallow form. Yeah. So yeah, I did go through an entire stage of I would only read oracle cards, but now just because of how I interpret tarot, I prefer the tarot cards. I don't know if that's a weird way to explain that one, but
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, for me, I'll answer Rob's question that says, how do I train myself to remember my dreams? I'll tell you. But for me, I like the tarot to pull for others because I feel like it has much more information in it. But I always tell people if you want to start off using cards for dream interpretations, I like the oracle cards because there's a set that I always use. It's oh, you know, I brought it up because I thought it might come up. It's called Dream Interpretation Oracle Deck. And this one is a little bit different. You just lay out all the cards and look at the pictures, and you pull the pictures that are like images that remind you of things you saw in your dream. And then you line those up in importance, and you can kind of flip them over and read through the book or look at the photos to kind of put like to start writing out your dream interpretation. So it's a tool. So like for Rob saying, how do you remember your dreams? You've got to like start with either my first recommendation I always tell people is if you can't remember your dreams at all, pick a dream you do remember, because everyone remembers at least one dream they've had in their life. So you write out that dream, the best you remember. You visualize yourself going back to that dream to see if you could pick up any more details, and you start with that. And that kind of exercises your brain a little bit. And then you set a dream intention, and your dream intention should be, I want to remember my dream. And Sarah will tell you, she was in my dream study and she was waking up. She was having dreams where she says, I need to remember my dreams because she was setting an intention to remember her dreams. So she's not only to have a lot of dreams, but she also was having dreams about remembering her dreams. So that's the two things I would say. Another one is obviously every day write down something. If you don't remember your dream, but you feel like, like sometimes you wake up and you're like, I feel like I was dreaming about like a park or something, but you can't visualize it. You can't really remember. Just write down, I think I was dreaming about a park, and then just think about it throughout the day. See if anything comes back to you. Think of your dreams as an event you were at. Don't think of it as a dream. Think of it as last night I was at this park and this is what I saw and this is who I talked to. It'll make it, because for your brain, that was a real experience you had. So think of it as a real experience, not a dream. And that'll also help the recall, because we're always trying to remember, like when you tell someone a story, like when I was 15, we went to this concert and like, so you're telling the story to them. That's no different than relaying a dream, right? Because it's a past event. So if you look at it that way, I think it'll help. And then also like picking up fun tools like the dream cards and stuff, because then it gets you excited about it. Because half the time, one of the first things I ever read about is that people don't remember their dreams because they're just not interested enough. So, and I mean, if my dream study doesn't tell people that they should be, I mean, it's a tool that you can use to solve problems, to help yourself. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So you got to be excited about it.
That makes sense though, right? Then and like treating it like it was a real event, you would want to recall more from it then.
Yeah. Because think about it, when you have a dream you really like, you just focus on that. This was such a great dream. I was hanging out with this celebrity and we were in the Bahamas and it was so great. You hold on to that dream. You got to think of all your dreams like that.
Oh, I've got it. Are you the dream interpretation studies? Is this something that anyone can do at any time, or is this like you do like a set time frame? Is it like over already? Like you're not doing it again?
I'm thinking about doing another one that's a dream re-entry. And so I've been kind of putting together how I want to flow. And, maybe last time I asked for 10 people and we tried to contact either spirits or our spirit guides. And it was really successful. That's on my YouTube channel, the 2 dream studies that I did. The one I did for myself was just about working with myself and trying like self-improvement. And it really worked. And so sometimes I sit there and I think to myself, why am I not doing this every night? And what I found though, if you just like, what I call like kind of free dreaming, if you don't set an intention before you go to bed and you're just like, go to bed, whatever, You're
Yeah.
literally opening yourself up to all kinds of like chaos when you're dreaming. So you really need to every night at least set some kind of an intention. I
Oh.
have set intention that I don't want to dream because I dream so much that sometimes I want the peace of not dreaming. So sometimes
Really?
I will even set that intention that I don't want to have dreams or remember them. So the opposite, because the more you work on it, the more you remember. And it can be a lot if you
Oh
start having
man.
like 5 dreams a night, and you're thinking about them.
I'm gonna start setting an intention before I go to bed. Absolutely. I think I
Okay.
saw Pat wanted a card. I'm gonna pull up a card for Pat real quick. There it is. Pulling a second card.
Oh.
You guys want to make a guess on the first one I pulled?
Oh my God, seriously?
I've been sitting here shuffling, I promise you.
Just leave that card out.
I might switch over to the other deck soon.
I love it if you pull that card from the other deck.
Oh, yeah, that I'll switch over decks.
But I think it has to do with the whole moon thing and the.
I think it really does.
Yeah.
So your first card was the where are we? 6 of Wands. And then you have the Knight of Swords. So we already know that when we were talking about the wands, the 6 of Wands, we're talking about something that's very victorious, that it's kind of like a homecoming celebrate, like you can celebrate with the people that you love kind of a situation. And the Knight of Swords, when I see this one, so for me, when I look at this one, swords represent your thoughts, your intellectual properties. So anything to do with reasoning, being able to put a thought process together. So I would say new ideas, new ways of thinking, and the fact that it's on a horse and it's moving very fast. Like this is going to be a new, very fast-paced idea. That's, if it hasn't come to you yet, it's about to come to you. And I would take that and run with it. Whatever it feels like, oh, wouldn't it be great to be able to go and do this? Or I have this great idea for a new project. When that starts coming to you, that's when this card's coming into play. It's a very, your thought processes are going to be changing on something in a good way. And I would run with it because it's going to be something that you can celebrate with others.
Love it.
And we are going to switch. So I have a second deck sitting here with me. So the next couple of cards I'm going to pull from the cute ghost tarot deck. I don't know if anyone's seen those ones, but they're fun. So I'm going to switch the deck for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I love the ghost deck. Sarah's saying, is there something we should or shouldn't drink before setting these intentions? Ooh. And what about how much time without TV, computer? I always say, because we're all so addicted to our little boxes of entertainment that we're all on right now, I say 30 minutes, but it really is like 1 to 2 hours. But that's a really high expectation for all of us, the 1 to 2 hours. So I say 30 minutes. 30 minutes, no phone, no computer. No, not even music, unless it's music that's kind of like, like that spa type music, new agey, rainforest, something that doesn't have any commercials. So you can't have anything else entering your mind besides, the peaceful vibe that you're trying to create. As far as drinking something, I mean, you shouldn't drink wine before, you're falling asleep for many reasons, but and I've done it, but I would say, water is best, but you can drink like some teas. And if you want to like do lucid dreaming, there's like lucid dream teas. Chamomile tea is a good one to do. Anything with lavender, blue lotus is good. I was looking at blue lotus essential oils, and you're not really supposed to ingest it, but I saw there were people who sold it, which I don't recommend. But you can like spray that around the room, like Apothecary Goods, she has a lucid dream spray that I've been using and I really like. I would say water's best, but if you want like a tea, even there's elixirs and stuff that you can get on some websites. Just be cautious of what you're drinking. Look it up ahead of time. How do you like that one?
I just got it. I thought I was ordering the tea, and I guess I ordered the elixir instead. So we're gonna.
Is that from the Goddess Provisions?
I thought it was, but no, this one's from the Anima Mundi.
Oh, okay. They're the one. Oh my God. That's the same as the dream tea that I had. That's the one I sent you the picture of, right?
Yeah, I thought I was ordering the tea, and apparently I didn't. We ordered the
That's
elixir.
the one where I was an orb. I'm dying to hear what happens when you go to sleep.
Oh, I'm going to let you know the second I've tried it. I thought I saw something come up about so I got my ghost tarot deck. I actually got it from Amazon.
Oh.
Of all places. I love Amazon for finding different decks.
Yeah. I have a few in my saved cart. I have one I found that has aliens.
Ooh.
Pull a card for Rob.
Okay. Giving you a second card. So we've got the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, when I look at it, is more so another thing with wands, because they are the aspect of fire. So that means a lot of passion, a lot of creativity. And so new projects on the horizon, possibly. I mean, sounds like that might be right for him.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to do 3 cards for him. So we have, it says sticks because they say things a little differently. I will always say wands because that's what I'm used to. But so the Knight of Wands. So this is a very, like, there's a lot of fire. So there's a lot of passion, a lot of, so like the passion and the creativity and the wanting to move forward with something. And because it's a knight, I always consider knights to be more like they're moving into something. So you're going to be moving into a project that is very passionate for you. You need to take care of yourself while you are doing this. You need to stay mindful of making sure you give yourself rest so you do not burn out. You also got the 9 of Swords with that one. But if you can maintain that balance of finding time for yourself, you come into the 7 of Pentacles, which is like sowing the seeds, the reaping the rewards of everything that you've put into play. So the projects that you want to do, absolutely go into it. There's a lot of passion into it, and just you gotta give yourself that time for you. And if you can do that, it's going to be extremely successful for you. So that is for Rob.
Did you get Joanne?
I saw this list. Okay, so we got Stacy and we got Brittany, but no, we did not get Joanne. Joanne, honey, if you are still here, I am pulling a card for you real quick. So the one thing too, like, you know, like I say, like I want to pull another card. Sometimes I need, it's not so much that I'm like, oh wait, they need another card. Sometimes I just need a little bit of clarification on the reading. And then other times, like anytime there's swords. So anything beyond the Ace of Swords can look a little scary because, I mean, one, they're weapons. 2, I mean, the imagery isn't always, it isn't always friendly, but it's only just a guidance, like a warning to make sure that you prepare yourself for something. Oh, got one jumping.
Ooh.
All right, Jan, I'm going to pull a clarifying card. So you got 9 of Wands, and 9 of Wands, I'll show you what it looks like. But for me, when I look at that one, I always see the person and there's a bandage on the person's head. What that means to me is you've come through a time of just having to really battle for what you want, or you're coming out of a situation where you feel exhausted or battle worn. And just know that, you know, this is a time to pull into those spiritual reserves. This is a time for you to realize that, you know what, you might feel like you have lost something somewhere, but you absolutely have not. You have a strong will and a strong spirit, and that is going to get you through. All is not lost, but at the same time, do not go back to the past because there's nothing there for you. And it all is going to be determined on how you perceive things. So, okay, here is your 9 of Wands. See how it looks like they look very tired and they look worn out, right? This is just a time, like, give yourself a little bit of rest, realize there's so much better. There's so much more good in your life than you realize. And you know what? Now you know what isn't for you. Now you know, don't go back to things that didn't work. This is a time to move forward, but give yourself rest first. And brand new up and coming ideas and ways of thinking will come out of this that'll spring you forward into a very positive mindset, and it'll set you on your new path. So King of Swords is, so swords being like the mental aspect, the intellectual. So that you're going to come into a time of all of your thoughts clearing and getting that mental clarity that you need to find the right path that's meant for you. So this is going to be a very positive thing for you. I don't know if that makes sense, but those are your cards. This is, you know, I was so terrified that I was going to forget everything that I'd like. So yeah, I was like, okay, I started my divination with Danny because I'm so in my comfort bubble, right? I am so like, oh, I pull a card for myself, I can do this, whatever.
Right.
And then I'd have friends like, hey, you pull cards, can you pull cards for me? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. So I was like, all right, let me start the page. Then I have to do it for, you know, but it's
right.
It's almost like it was kind of a baby step because it's behind a screen. I can't see everyone that I'm pulling a card for, right? So it's still kind of in the comfort zone. So this was pulling me way out of it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to forget everything. It's
I know. When you're unable to speak in a dream, looks like I'm asking myself. If you're unable to speak in a dream, that means in real life, there's some situation where you feel like you're not being heard. So you need to figure out what's going on in your life that you feel like you're not being heard, and deal with it.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm trying to think if I've ever had that. I've had where I couldn't, like, I've already had dreams where like what I wanted to say were not the words that were coming out. Like I was still able to talk, but it was not.
Oh.
Okay, I pull cards for others. Can you pull one for me? Absolutely. Tracy, here we go. So what I got here, and I need to sit with this one for a second. So what I'm seeing for this one is I first went to, so I don't know if you can see this. So you have the Queen of Swords. So what I'm seeing here is her crown is made of butterflies. So that's where I went to right away. And for me, butterflies are more of like a transformation, kind of the whole life cycle of the butterfly, and like the struggle you may have come from. Now you are turning into this, everything that you went through before has strengthened you for this moment. And this moment is one of actually being in tune with your thoughts, being in tune with your intuition, and being able to go forth with a clear mindset on something now. So all that struggle in the past with whatever situation you may have going on right now, you're coming into that beautiful mindset of just clarity and peace, and kind of own it. Like own that situation, own the fact that you've come into your own in whatever aspect that may be. I don't know if that makes sense, or if you pull something different from that, that's for you. I do love those cards.
I'm just looking behind you. You have a
oh my God. Did it make the appearance? Oh my. That thing scared me so bad earlier.
I wanted to answer this question the best I can. The fact that the teeth that are falling out of your mouth are dog's teeth, that has to do with protection. Oh. So something, and see, for me, the teeth, the mouth, I feel like that's being able to speak, but it's whatever you feel like teeth mean to you. It can be beauty. It just depends. Maybe it's about money, since you mentioned that. Do you feel like you're not being able to protect your money some way? Or what does money mean to you? Like, is money identity? Is it comfort? Is it well-being? So like if you take that and think of, what does money mean to you? What are you afraid of losing? And then the dog's teeth are falling out. That's protection. You feel like you can't protect something. You're fearing that you're going to lose something. You feel like you can't protect it. That was a really long way of saying that. But let me know if that makes sense. But that's how I'm reading that.
Oh, anything with dreams with teeth, I don't know why that freaks me out so bad.
Yeah, and hair. I hate the hair falling out. That one bothers me.
Oh. So if it's just like regular teeth, what does it mean? If it's not dog's teeth, it's just regular teeth. Is that kind of the same thing, or is it?
Well, for me, anything with the mouth is about being able to speak something. It could be beauty. He mentioned money. That might be like a dream dictionary definition of money.
Okay.
But, you have to think like, what's the first thing you think of with teeth? Could be about nourishment, because you use them to eat.
Okay.
So it's kind of, up to interpretation, but that's why like he put several symbols in there. So sometimes like the teeth itself could mean several things, but what are the other symbols in the dream and how do they work together to create like the story?
Okay. Oh, I like that. All right. So it's like, it's kind of like with the same thing with the cards. You're reading the symbol.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it really is. Let's see.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. That's.
Did you do one? You did do one for Sam. Yeah.
Did I?
I'm not sure. I thought you did.
I did. I can't remember.
Did we do one for you, Sam?
Yeah, I think so. I believe that we did. Sam, we did one for you, right?
Let's see. I'm going through the list here just to see.
If
we missed you, put your name in all caps or something.
Oh, please. Yes, let us know, because this is not as easy as everyone makes it seem.
Oh, no, it's, look.
Oh, now let's pull a card for Sam. Okay. Okay, so Queen of Wands. So with this one, for some reason, the crown got me first, the crown and then the flower. So there's a lot of, I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of fire in the crown. So for me, I'm going to go with, there's a lot of passion. If you don't feel this right now, it's going to be coming soon. So there's just going to be something that you're going to reconnect with a passion for life, for anything, with new projects, for moving forward with ideas. And this is going to be a time of fertility in all aspects. I'm not meaning just like fertility as in getting pregnant. I mean fertility as in things are going to come to you very easily with your thoughts and with wanting to do new projects and just kind of like owning your own energy, like that feminine aspect, that feminine divine energy is going to start flowing through you soon. And go with it. I would absolutely, you're coming into a really good time with this one. The just the passion for life, really, and being able to connect with the natural world around you also. What was that?
It went away. That looks like a kid ghost wanting to show you something they found.
It does, though. It doesn't it? That's so cute. But yeah, other than the traditional deck, the cute ghost tarot, hopefully that connects with you good, Sam, because I love that card. That's such a beautiful card.
I love that.
And I wanted to ask you, we were talking about going to the, like, when you have to pee or poop or whatever in a dream. What is it? Because I've had this, like, not anymore, but like a couple months back, I was continually having dreams of being in a bathroom. And it wasn't even like my bathroom. It would be like a public bathroom or like some random, and they weren't necessarily always the cleanest things in the entire universe.
That is such a common dream. I have had that. I actually, come to think of it, I haven't had it lately, but I always had that dream too. You like find like you're looking for a bathroom, you finally find it. There's like no doors, or it's super dirty, or it's like in a field, like there's something wrong with it that prevents you from being able to use it. And that means that you have a need to purge, which goes back to the, the pooping and peeing. Like when you're actually trying to do it, that's like the next stage. So look out for your dreams. But usually when you're looking for a bathroom, it's a need to purge something that's potentially, poison to you. And so being that it's a public bathroom, you feel like a lack of privacy about it as well. So you almost feel like publicly maybe you're perceiving that other people are noticing something that needs to be, or maybe someone has said to you, you need to like let go of whatever it is, stuff like that.
Okay.
Or the one thing is I always say to people, or you actually do have to go to the bathroom in real life and your subconscious is showing you dirty bathrooms to make you wake up because you have to go to the bathroom. So it could be both.
Nice. So yeah, if I ever am dreaming about a bathroom and then I have to like run to the bathroom as soon as I wake up, I could have just been like, hey, you need to go. You need to wake up. You need to do that. Okay. I love that. I don't know where we're at with all of this. Let me see.
Yeah, it's like, did we miss anybody?
Here's the thing, if we missed you, because this is so hard to follow, just re-put your name in now if we missed you and you wanted something, either dream interpretation wise or card wise. All I know is I actually enjoyed this so much. I was so nervous. So I enjoy pull a card for Leo. Should we pull a card for Leo?
Oh, I love that. I've pulled cards for my cats before. I even did like past life readings for my cats.
Did you really? Aww. Oh, I love that.
Oh, you got more. Facebook user. We don't know who you are. Type your name.
Oh, yes, please. Please type your name in. All right. This is a card for Leo. Okay. So he has the Lover's card.
Oh.
So this is one of those cards of just in general love, right? Feeling the connections, feeling that you have the ability to connect with others. This also could be finding that aspect within yourself, being able to, so like, okay, so we're talking about Leo here. So maybe trying to find a way to be comforted. So he barks a lot sometimes. So maybe it could be like he needs to figure out either that or he is happy with the people that he's around. So
yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
Okay, so who was the Facebook user pop up next for a card pull? Do we know who that is? Is that Amber? Okay, Amber. Okay, we're gonna do Amber first and then we'll go to Billy. Sorry, I should say it the way it's up there. So bad with that.
It's funny how we'll perceive a name different than what we just read.
Please do that all the time. This is for Amber. Okay, so I don't know if you're coming out of a time of having to struggle with anything, but you have the Justice card. So my first thought was, where are we at? The balancing, the balance. And for me, this would be that you're coming out of a time of feeling like there was an injustice done either to yourself or someone that you love. And that the universe is working that out right now. It may not seem like it, but you're coming into a time of energies balancing and things being righted where they need to be. If you're feeling that you need to speak your truth, this is a time to make sure that you speak your truth. Always just, stay true to who you are. Don't worry about what other people think with this. So it's just like coming back into balance, basically. And then we said, so hopefully that makes sense for you, Amber. If it doesn't, either let me know here or hit me up later and we can discuss it or pull other cards if that doesn't make sense for you.
Are you doing Billy?
Yeah, I'm doing Bill now. Amber, if that's you with you're trying to reopen things that were blocked, this could be that rebalancing, that justifying things again. So I would keep working on that because that means that the universe is going to help you balance things out. So maybe you'll be able to open back up where you had blocked yourself previously. All right, and then this is for Billy. The Hanged One or Hanged Man. I will pull another card just to help with clarification on this one. So with the Hanged Man, it is more of you are stifling or cutting out parts of yourself to help appease or to just maybe quiet some aspect of yourself to help others when you don't necessarily need to be. You don't need to be The word martyr always comes to me with this one. So please don't hold yourself back to help others anymore. Like I said before, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to help yourself first. I pulled some clarification cards for you. I'm going to pull one more. I don't know, and I'm just asking because of the cards I just pulled. Billy, if you're struggling with a thought, if this is making sense that you're holding yourself back or you're doing something that goes against what you normally would to help somebody else and you're struggling with the thought of it, you need to give yourself time. You need to give yourself rest. Okay, here we go. Billy, you got a four card pull here. So the Hanged One or Hanged Man, which means you're holding something back from yourself. You may be struggling with making a decision. What's happening here is with the Two of Swords, it's more of you're letting your fears or something feeling too big hold you back from making a proper decision. The moon in the background, to me, always is, for me, when I look at them, is an aspect of your darker emotions or the emotions that scare you or that you're not sure you want to face. So when I was looking for that card, I wanted clarification, and it gave me the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords means you need to give yourself rest. You need to give yourself some rest, and it'll help you make the decisions that you need to make to see where you can make your path less painful, where you can make your path easier for everybody and still stay true to yourself. And when you do that, you're going to start building some amazing foundations for a very beautiful future for everybody involved. So the Four of Wands is that time of celebration, that time of really strong foundations, which you can build a really good future from. So just giving yourself some space just to be you is going to help you get onto a track that is going to be really good for everybody. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but that's your cards, Billy. I have used Reiki. Actually, I have. So when I first decided to get back into tarot is the first time I decided that I was going to use Reiki to help, because I had been so scared of having to deal with my own, because I was pulling for myself at this point. I was so scared to face myself with that. And I had just started my Reiki training. So I decided that I was going to use Reiki to help guide my intuition to what I needed to do, because I felt if I had that little extra to back me up, that I knew I would find the right path. And that's helped me a lot. And since then, I've actually incorporated it into, I've done a pull for a friend already. And then they felt very nervous afterwards, even after we found the path for like correcting a situation. And I've done a Reiki session after a card reading already, just to help them to like be able to recenter. And then from there, they were actually like to figure out their situation, and they did, which I thought was amazing. I felt
yeah, that's great. You're able to help them work through it even further, not just give them information, but then help them. I love that. That's a really good combination.
It really is. I enjoyed combining the two. I don't do it all the time, but I do like it when I do it. Oh, Amber, you're very welcome. Bill, you're welcome also.
There was somebody else. Was there somebody else? So Chris Mack says, me, I'm just watching. Does that mean he wants a card pull?
Chris, if you would like a card pull, or if you would like to know something about a dream, let us know. Otherwise, we are very thankful for you coming in and watching and hanging out. We're very grateful for you. Thank you. I feel like this went really, I love that everyone was as interactive as they were. This was so nice. I loved it.
Yeah, I love it. I love the interaction and the combination of the two. Kaylee says, do you think we can control the dream, or does the dream control us? Well, there's lucid dreaming where you can go in and direct what's happening in the dream. I think the dream stage is still there, but you can kind of change it around. I'm not successful at that, so I'm not one to teach about that. But a lot of people do seem to be able to do that. But the one way that you control your dreams, and not as a lucid dream, is to set that dream intention. You set where you want to be. And I did that in my dream study. I had everybody start at the White Inn, and a lot of people were able to go to the White Inn as a starting point. Oh. And they each created their own like the beginning started the same and they all created their own path within it, but it was a controlled area that they wanted to start at. So that proves to me that you can control your dreams, rather than, like I like to say, free dreaming. I mean, sometimes you should just free dream, because maybe if we spend so much time controlling every aspect of our dream, we're not going to learn anything new because we're still trying to take control. So I feel like, again, with the balance, you have to have some balance. Just sometimes go to bed, and then sometimes you really need to set an intention, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because if you're trying too hard, you won't get anywhere, right?
Right. Yeah. You'll be almost like contaminating your dreams with it, you know.
Yeah, no. It feels like
Oh
something
wait.
I would do if I didn't have that background. So I see that Trevor was asking, does Reiki involve runes? No. So Reiki is a way of, I don't know if harnessing is the right word, but flowing with universal energy. So just give you a real roundabout way of answering this. So we have about 14 chakras in our body, but we have like 7 main chakras, right?
Huh.
So what you're taught in Reiki is how to basically just to attune yourself to allow energy to flow through basically the main 7 chakras. And so you become a tool. When you're doing Reiki for somebody, you're really connecting with their conscious, like their higher self, their consciousness, whatever you want to call it, their energy. You're connecting energetically with somebody else, with whoever you're deciding that you're going to send Reiki to. And it's kind of like a communication between the two energies, but it's flowing, like you're learning how to funnel it in and transfer it to where you want it to go. It's one of those things that it sounds real hokey until you start practicing it. You're like, oh no, okay, yeah, this is a thing. And we all have the ability to do it. It's just that setting the intention and then focusing, that's while you're basically learning with Reiki, in my like personal opinion. Now, there's going to be people, and I've even had I've taken several different courses, and some people have said, no, you have to memorize the symbols and you have to do them a certain way. And then I've also had other teachers who like, it's the intention that you put into something that means the most. So however you want to set that intention and connect it to what you're doing, that's what's going to help you more than anything else. And I think that was the biggest thing that I ever took away from any of the courses, was that intention is going to be your biggest ally. And it really, since I've learned that, I feel like I've been able to connect better with Reiki and to help other people with it. So yeah, it's more of just an energy transference.
Wow.
So let's see,
there's one more here.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do this. And then I think, okay, we have Michelle, and then I think we can wrap it up with the cards then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Michelle, let's do card pull for you. So the Empress is that, so what I saw right away is that the female symbol in the water. So getting in touch with those feminine emotions, that feeling, just going with the flow of femininity, connecting on the higher consciousness, that goddess flow, really coming into your own and being able to just sit in the fact of who you are and just embracing all of life that comes through that. I don't know how to explain that. That's just like, I'm feeling like that. You just want to give the whole world a hug, but it's like the warmest, motherliest hug in the entire world. And you're just going to be exuding this beautiful feminine energy, where you're going to be feeling that soon. And people are going to notice that. It's going to start shining off of you. And I don't really know how else to explain that. That's what I'm getting from this when I look at it. So if you're not feeling it right now, be open to the fact that it's coming. So you're gonna start connecting better with nature. You're gonna be able to connect better with just like your intuition, like all the feminine aspects, like your intuition, that motherly instinct, that just not knowing how you know something, but you know it. That's all coming to you. If you don't have it right now, it's flowing. It's flowing right to you right now.
Wow. Love that.
All right. So
cool. So I would mention to everybody who's watching, we both, if you don't follow both of our pages on Facebook, please do. And then if you want a dream interpretation or want to talk more about the tarot, please contact us, and we'll be happy to talk to you and work with you.
Absolutely. So they can find you at Dream Interpretations. What is the name of your site?
My website is the Dreams Interpreter.
Dreams Interpreter.
Yeah, .com. But my Facebook page, where you can find everything, is Dream Interpretations by Dee Dee Jabrell, which has been popping up here.
Yes, it has. I love it. Yeah. And then you can find me with Divination with Danny on Facebook, just through Facebook right now. So,
yeah. But, and you do a daily?
I do a daily. Yes, I do a daily tarot card. I do eventually, once I have a little bit more time to sit down with things, I want to branch out into different forms of divination. But for right now, tarot seems to be my focus. So I'm going to run with that for a little bit. But
yeah, I love it. And then I do a weekly dream symbol, even though I keep saying I don't use a dream dictionary, but I do, and it's to inspire you guys to think. So each week I pick a different dream symbol. Sometimes I have people vote for what they want or request it. You can request a dream symbol. And then I just do a 60-second or less short that just kind of tells you the possible meanings. And it's to get you to think about dreams you've had and if that symbol fits in.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, thank you everybody so much. This has been so lovely. Yeah. Sarah, love you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for always supporting both of us. We love you. Yeah. So seriously, this has been phenomenal. I love all of the interaction, the people willing to take the time out of their evening to sit with us tonight. This has been so wonderful. Thank you.
It is. I love it.
So yeah, definitely come check out our Facebook pages and reach out to us if you have any questions, and we will we'll talk to you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So if you guys like this, let us know. We'd like to know if you enjoyed this interaction or not.
Yeah. Let us know if you'd like to see this again.
Aw, love you too, Sam. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings, and hopefully the week starts off on a good note for you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, you guys.
Night.